Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and yes, it's an active range again. I'm terribly sorry, there are people shooting, there'll be people talking, there'll be background noise. Sorry, we're working with what we've got here. So in an earlier video, I put this Sterling L2A3 Mk.4 open bolt, blocked at semi-auto, submachine gun through its paces at 25 meters. What we're going to do now, because we've got the opportunity to shoot at 100 and 200 meters, we're going to see how it works at its two sighting ranges, because these are actually sighted for 100 and 200 meters with a larger aperture for 100 and a smaller aperture for 200. Now, because this has been blocked at semi-auto, we are allowed to shoot it whenever we want. In Switzerland, full auto firearms can only be shot at specific events for which a special permit has been issued, which rather limits things. And that's even the case if you shoot them semi-automatically. So what we're going to do is load up some Gecko, presumably Swiss-made this, 115 grain 9mm para, and I unfortunately do not have a spotting scope that is suitable because it broke on me. Typical bloke on the range, stuff will go wrong. So what I think I'll do is I'll put 15 rounds into it, taking a centre hold, anticipating that it's going to go a little bit to the left because that's where it was going before. I'm going to shoot prone, and we can see where it goes. Now, it's not an electronic target there at 100, it is a paper target, so we'll put the holes in it and see where they turn up. Well, something I actually omitted to talk about in the earlier video was the stock, and despite being a folding stock, it's actually extremely comfortable to the point where it was so unremarkable that I didn't comment on it. It just didn't occur to me. The recoil on these, as you'd expect, it's a 9mm carbine, it's minuscule, so even though prone your nose gets up on the end cap there, it doesn't really pose a problem. It just goes shluck, shluck. Very comfortable. Sights were hardly moving, even though as the bolt flies forward the recoil starts already before it's gone bang. So we're going to wander down in the catacombs and go have a look at that target, and if it's adequate maybe we'll put it out at 200 and see. Actually have the targets from the Bloke on the Range bolt action challenge there. Right, down you come. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So off to the left by, yeah, 10, 20, mean point of impact somewhere around here, so about 25 centimeters left. And I noticed at 25 meters that we were shooting a couple of inches left, but I couldn't manage to drift the front sight. So we're gonna have to compensate for that. What I'm gonna do is put it out at 200. In fact, interestingly, elevation-wise, that's not bad. We're a couple of inches high at 25, and that's, for something like that, that is pretty good. So if I am 10, 20, no. So if I am 5, 10, 15, 20 off here, I'm going to have to aim off 40, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So at 200, I'm going to have to aim here at the right-hand edge of the target, not quite off, so just inside the right-hand edge of the target. Right, all patched out. Let's take this up to 200. So back in the day, even 300 meters was done like this with other targets. So I don't have enough hands. I'm going to put the camera down. Pokey stick. Right, back to the firing point. So I'm kind of pleased at how that went at 100. As a first go, when I'm slightly out of breath, because I mean, often on these occasions it's a lot of work to do just to get the shooting I want done and filmed and everything. So running backwards and forwards down to the butts here, yeah, it's quite a way to be wandering backwards and forwards, and this is why we're glad that at 300 it's electronic targets. But even if it wasn't, we'd swap over. We'd have a butts party and firing party and swap over to modern technology. Okay, sorry, the sun's coming out and we've got to film into the light. Can't change the orientation of the range. Do the same thing. I'm going to put 15 rounds, aiming, as I said, on the just not quite at the right-hand edge, but elevation in the middle. And those pistol targets, those pistol figure targets, look pretty small over rifle sights in the Bloke on the Range Bolt Action Challenge. I'm sure that it's going to look even tinier. Now, flick the sight over to 200, small aperture, and let's see if this is effective in any way, shape, or form. Now, one thing I noticed was I'm actually using the bayonet lug there as a reference, and I'm kind of pushing down on that a bit. I have my nose right up against the end cap, and yeah, comfortable. But with that little sight, that's kind of a fat blade when it's that close to the ride, and yeah, you certainly see the movement of the gun more as it's going off with that glacial lock time you get from closed bolt. But let's go back down to the target and have a look. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Whey! Haha! Yes, now we see the ballistic limits of 9mm para. It didn't go anywhere near as far left as I anticipated. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 out of 15. I think the rest are probably off down there somewhere. I mean, if it was zeroed, I wasn't having to aim off, it might be a bit better, but that's really testing the limits of that kind of system. Definitely. I mean, that, if we just give, let's just say that it was probably from there to there extreme spread, that's pushing a meter. Ooh, found another one up there. So I think within the limits of the fact that it is an open bolt 9mm machine carbine, submachine gun, you wouldn't want to stand there accurate at 200. At 100 it was definitely you wouldn't want to stand there. At 200 this is just, ooh, yeah, I think you'd probably get away with it. I mean, it's only my first go. I'm sure with a bit of practice and holding tight you could. Is that a patch on a closed bolt gun, like the closed bolt version of exactly that gun, or an MP5? I mean, the MP5 being sort of, I always think of that one as kind of best in class. No. I mean, you're still going to have the limitations of 9mm at 200 yards, 200 meters, but there would have been much less dispersion simply because you haven't got the whole gun going slip as the bolt flies forward to chamber around and set it off. Full auto at that range, obviously not a thing. As I think I've mentioned before, they were supposed to be used more in semi-auto with full auto only as an emergency option. So I'll repeat the same cliche, and I'm sorry this is the third video on this topic, that they seem to have been issued largely like the Americans issued the M1 carbine in the M1 carbine era as personal protection weapons for some officers and people embuggered with other kit, drivers, medics, so on. Does it fulfill that role? Yes. It is very compact when folded. The weight it's quite light. Thus far, I am extremely impressed with it. Is it better than a Sten? Yes. Is it better than the Sten Mk.4, the luxury Sten? Yes, very much so. For an SMG of that era, I'm quite impressed with it. Is it MP5? No. Is it a modern pistol caliber carbine, like one of the B&T ones, or a CZ Scorpion Evo 3? No, definitely not. It is of its era, but I love it. It's pretty cool. So thank you very much for watching and tolerating my rambling. I'm going to go put this target away now. Thank you very much to patrons who make all this possible and keep driving us along to produce content, and see you again sometime. Bye.